Well, did you guys miss me? I'm officially back. Man, 7 months has been a long time, but a lot of things have happened, and now we're here, okay? I'm kicking off something new. I have a new series on my channel where I go to big events and I kind of report on them. Today is election day. So yeah, we're gonna be going to DC, and you're probably like, who's we? Well, got that boy Chase behind the camera. Yes, sir. Okay. But anyway, so we're here. I'm at my dad's house right now, about to get in my civic duty, and I'm going to vote. This is my first time ever voting. I think it's very essential. I couldn't make a video about... I couldn't make a video just covering the election if I didn't vote. I wouldn't feel real. I wouldn't feel good for myself. So that is what we're doing. I'm doing my civic duty. The good thing about voting where I'm at, one, it's a swing state. So every vote truly counts here. So I'm making sure I'm putting in my work. But also where we're at right now, we can walk to the polls. The polls open in, let's see here, in 7 minutes in Michigan. They open 7 a.m. They close at 8. So here's kind of like the game plan that we're kind of doing. I'm going to walk down there. I'm going to vote. After that, we're going to get in the freaking car. No van today. No van. We're doing Equinox Man Chan. So we're going to hop in the car and we're going to beeline it straight to Washington, D.C. It's about an 8-hour drive. You should be arriving there around 4 or 5, and that should be perfect time for stuff to start ramping up. It's a beautiful Michigan morning, especially for November. It's pretty warm out here. Let's get this day started with the vote. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to film in there, but I will see you guys in the booth. Let's go. So I just finished up voting for my very first time. I did my responsibility as an American citizen on election day, and it feels good. So if you're watching this video and you didn't vote, man, think about your actions because it's very important. I have the sticker here to prove it. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for, but just know that I voted. I got my boy Chase here with me. Chase voted. Now, would you be interested in telling the people who you voted for?
I would. I voted for Donald J. Trump. Now, that's just my opinion. I don't like confrontation. I believe in America as a free country. If you voted for Kamala, a lot of my friends voted for Kamala. No problem with me.
So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you voted for. All that matters is that you voted. And I did, so I'm going to put the sticker on real quick. I'm going to be rocking that all day, showing my pride. A lot of people in there were very happy with me. I'm a young buck showing out, and the young vote matters. Now we're walking back to the cribbo because it is time to hit the road to DC. And maybe on our walk back, we can run into somebody and ask them, hey, if they're voting today, kind of pick their brain. But if not, whatever, that's what DC is going to be for. We're going to be doing a lot of talking to the people in DC. We're going to figure out what people are thinking, what people are feeling, and who do they think is going to win? Because a lot is at stake in this election. So it's probably the biggest election of all time. Very, very interesting. Most important part of the day done. We voted. Got the nice handy dandy backup camera going. So here's the dealio. This is the start to like an 8-hour drive. We're gonna divide it up into two. I'm gonna drive the first half. My boy Chase is gonna drive the second. So I am going to be the captain of this ship. But before we can get settled into the long drive there, we gotta get gas, we gotta get snacks, maybe an energy drink. So we gotta stop at Speedway. And right there's where we just voted. Should I honk a little bit? Woo! America! Just another day in beautiful Metro Detroit. This atmosphere, this environment is just so great. You look around, it's lively. It's I mean, show them. Look at this. Look at it. This is amazing. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. So you know we had to do it. We're here at Speedway Cafe. Or should I say Speedy Cafe? I voted today. All right, we're about to hit the road. Gotta get some snacks. You know what I hate? I hate these. These are the worst things. I'm a big fan of honey roasted stuff, but honey roasted whatever suck. I'm gonna need 2 of these. If I'm gonna be interviewing people all day, I'm gonna have to get my knowledge up. Smart water. Not 1, 2. Dose. All right, got my hands full. We need a white Monster, 0 sugar. We can just grab it in line. Let's go. Yeah. I think we might be ready to go. So we officially made it out of the madhouse. As you can see, the early morning commute or the early morning workday is real on election day. You got the bucket trucks. You got everybody going to work, it seems like. wondering why this door didn't open in San Francisco, it was actually broken into. When they fixed the window, no door open. Come over here. Come over here. Pop that John open. Election day prices are real. You see that. You see that. You get that cash discount. We paid cash, of course. Oh.
Oh, you're a gas handle toucher, not a finger toucher?
I don't touch with my finger, brother. Sorry. I'm filling it up right now, but I'm probably going to get cash back. So guess in the comments below right now how much cash back I'm going to get. I think that I'm going to get, let's see, $5.57. Chase?
I think it's going to take the whole thing.
He says it's going to take the whole thing. Well, I don't know. I guess we're going to see. If you don't mind me asking, who did you vote for? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Now, here's the real thing. Do I wait through that whole entire line to get my cash back if it's below $5?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that was a crazy line in there. If I got to go back in there, I'm going to be upset. Oh, my God. No. All right. Do you think I can get to 45 at least?
Leave it to a professional.
Okay, time out. Chase says he got it. Chase says he got it. Come on, Chase. He is cooking right now. Now, that's called technique. I'm really impressed. Oh, he might do it. He might do it. He might do it. Will it take it? Oh my gosh. Perfect on the money. On the freaking money. Thanks, Chase. So you guys seen it. What a bummer. Got to go back in there and wait in that long line just for cash back. That's the downside of paying with cash. Well, freaking well. Just got back from inside the Speedway, and the line wasn't too bad compared to what we were seeing earlier. This is what we're running. You know, if you guys are familiar with Call of Duty, you know, you got classes, you got your main weapon, then you got your side piece, you know, that 1-2 combo. If you look right here, Chase thinks that he's a part of the class system, so we're just gonna we're gonna kick him off because this is what we're running. White Monster as my primary, Smart Water, Leader as the secondary. As for the rest, forget about it. Time to hop in this bad boy. I'm so locked into the roads, man. I'm one of the best drivers ever. Let me pull out the cellular device. People really take maps and Apple Maps for granted. I mean, how could we get around so flawlessly, so effortlessly without this type of software? Beep, boop, beep, boop. Washington already there. We have an 8-hour and 45-minute drive. We're about to be arriving at almost 5 o'clock, which is not too bad, not too bad. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in your seatbelts, get comfortable because we are hitting the road. Let's go!
Hey, Cliche, we finna have us a good day.
Yeah, Peter Griffin shit, I be dancing when the birds on. I just stole 100 Percocets from a group home. Mama said I always do right, I can't do wrong. 50-100 from the IRS, I find a loophole. Rather stick to the core like I'm John, now the hoop gone. Gave a fiend bitch a big ass rock like a snowball. Just shifted by myself with a $20 U-Haul. Leave this bitch ringless like she Chris Paul. I put bands on your head, but you not Caruso up in LA. Smack a bitch with 1800, she was late. Put some mint on your teeth like you Price Face. I'm on Mikey Williams shit, I get 5 charges up in the same day. I'm on Le'Veon shit, I'm finna pack him up. No flex, no AP around me, I'm finna snatch it up. Bitch got a flat ass, no cabbies, your booty tucked. I got 2 phones, don't know which one I'm finna pick up. Doing on my own with no age in the March track. Got buns in my face with no season.
This is your captain speaking. We're making our first stop and only stop of the road trip. This is an opportunity for everybody to stretch their legs, get something to eat, go to the bathroom, and refuel. Thank you for riding with VMC. Bam! Yes, we are here. First things first, we're gonna refuel. Second thing, we're gonna check the oil. This car burns a lot of oil. It's been pump faking me recently. Haven't really seen it go down, so I'm gonna be surprised if I don't have to fill it up, but let's do it.
Turn that shit up, man.
CC niggas suck, they need some VC. Put the switchy on the 17 and shooting greasy. Fuck your bitch like a dog and now she need a leashy. 6 shots to his car, blow up Mitsubishi. If I really treat her bad, then why she don't want leave? Fuck on my face when it's that, niggas don't want see me. Yeah, my feet kinda ass, but the Glock on receipt. I get the bustin' with this bitch, not the Glock on repeat. Freak bitch from the islands, pussy feel like Fiji. I got this one emo bitch like to play with Ouija. Pockets fatter than a bitch, feel like Waluigi. Got these hoes mad cause I play them all, but the bitch need me. I ASL shoot the the Drake until it feel queasy. It's an island fruit pop, but it look bleedy. My A-Raps to girl crop, his middle name Habibi. Give us all a few years and we gon' be on TV. The hoes ain't want me back then, but now they all want see me. Know some niggas plumb faking around me, probably wanna beat me. If it ain't about the money, why the fuck we speak?
Hey man, what up? So after, I don't even know how long we were on the road, hours. We left at like 9, 10, I don't even know. We got here at 6, it's 6, and it's pitch freaking black outside. That's probably the only downside of coming here. So welcome to my crib. We have great fake brick. We have, you know, a bunch of positive affirmations everywhere. Do something amazing. Enjoy your non-smoking room. Yeah, and as you can see, we got the double-decker bunk bed. You know, I get bottom bunk. Okay, so now that we're officially here, it's like I said, like 6 o'clock. The plan is to be out there for as long as possible. The polls are going to start shutting down at like 8 o'clock. Once more and more start shutting down, probably going to get a lot more active down where we're going. We're going to go to, what is the National Mall, Lincoln Memorial, Washington Monument, maybe the White House. We're just going to get down and dirty with it. It's going to be a pretty long day. The goal is to talk to some people and just kind of capture what Washington, D.C. is like on election day. Probably the most influential election in all time. I mean, this is a huge one. We're going to, you know, settle in a little bit, get our mind right. I'm going to get my questions. One of the biggest problems in America and with politics and whatever, we are all entitled to our opinion. But the thing is, people are putting other people's opinion down. It's like nobody can really say what they want to say, and no one can like believe what they want to believe without getting criticized. For example, if I were to say I'm a diehard Kamala supporter, right? I'd probably get cooked on the internet for having a political whatever. If I said I'm a Donald Trump supporter, I'd probably be cooked on the internet. So it's like people need to understand that everybody's entitled to their opinion, not just the one that you have. I'm excited to talk to everybody out there. I voted a certain way. Like I said, I'm not going to say what I voted for, but I'm here for everybody's opinion. We're going to see how this goes. This is it's going to be pretty interesting. Yeah, this is it. It kind of looks like a closet, and with terrible lighting. We're about to go out there. We're about to have a blast. Just wanted to be really natural and, like I said, captivate the whole entire experience of Washington, D.C. on election day. So we're going to formulate a plan and get out of here. All right. So we officially made it downtown. You see, you got the Washington Monument right there. You got Lincoln Memorial over there. And you have the reflecting pool right here. If I'm being real, I'm a little bit underwhelmed by the turnout. I thought that this place was actually going to be like packed, but you know, it's a little bit low key. I think that the polls haven't been shut down and the results, you know, it's still up in the air. It's not really that popping, but we're going to walk around. We're on the prowl. I'm looking for a crowd. I'm looking for a group of people. So we're going to keep on walking on the side of the reflective pool. We're going to try to get to the Washington Monument, see if there's anybody there. But yeah, it's a beautiful night out here. I mean, it's like 70 degrees. I'm able to wear a t-shirt. Really hoping that we can see a crowd, because from just this right here, I don't know. So we made it to the World War II Memorial right before the Washington Monument. You can kind of see it if you... okay, you can't see it on that angle. It's the spot like these that really make you grateful and really make you understand that what privilege it is just to be an American citizen and just have the right to vote on this day. All these people who served in World War II and all the wars in our history, they gave us this freedom, and it's really cool just to check it out down here in DC. We're standing right by here, home state of Michigan, and I'm really just grateful to just be here, and I'm really appreciative to everybody who's made the sacrifices to allow me to even do this today. So we're gonna go in there and check it out. So if you haven't already been here, there's a wreath? I don't know, but there's a wreath for every single state, and it's pretty cool. I remember the first time I came here was on my 8th grade field trip to Washington, D.C., and then I came back not too long ago, probably maybe December of 2022, so maybe 2 years ago. Every time, it's great to be here. All the fountains, all the architecture that was into it, you know, very cool spot. As you can see right behind me, we have the beautiful Washington Monument. And as you also may notice, it's pretty empty out here. Over there in the distance, you have some Secret Service agents or some police officers. That's one thing that we knew coming in here, and we're just going to dive a little bit deeper and try to figure out where it's at, because I was hearing reports of businesses boarding up their windows and preparing for riots or protests after the election results. See, it's still pretty early out here. And what I'm really noticing is that there's a lot of tourists, and I haven't really been seeing a lot of American tourists. It's been a lot of people talking different languages, obviously not from here. So I wonder if people who aren't from the United States, if they're coming here more to witness this than people who actually live here. Standing under this thing is actually crazy. I mean, you can't even comprehend the size. It is so tall. I think I might have to go up there and touch it. I'm probably as tall, not even as tall, maybe a little bit taller than 1, 2, 3. But if you're standing at the base of it and you're just looking up, it's crazy. The good old Washington Monument. So we're going to keep on chugging along, just kind of getting my feet wet, going around all the cool sights and looking at them, and then we're going to dive in deep. Next spot after this, I mean, I think you can see it. We're going to the Capitol. So we're approaching it, and you can see just like how empty it is here. When I envisioned coming here, I thought it was going to be like you couldn't even find a spot on the street, but you have, reporters out here just parking their car and setting up right in front of the Capitol, which I think is pretty cool. But I feel like I see more people set up for interviews than I see like people to interview. So we're going to do some jaywalking right here. This is how empty the streets are in DC on election day. Maybe the police or some people have some stuff closed. I have no clue. But yeah, we're here. Good old Capitol. So right now we are in front of the Capitol building, and as you can see, the police have been putting up these fences as somewhat of a barricade to prepare for what could possibly happen tonight. I mean, judging by right now, there's not too much going on. But you have this absolutely stunning view of the Capitol building. I mean, the architecture on it is amazing. So we've pretty much covered a lot in DC so far, just from walking from the memorial all the way here. Just overall thoughts so far is that it's surprising. Not surprising in the way that I thought, but surprising just the turnout. I feel like it's just like a normal day out here. It's a pretty cool moment in history to witness, and just to be here where it's so dead. I mean, I just can't believe it. It's crazy. We're really here. And a statue, is that Andrew Jackson? I don't know. That could be Andrew Jackson right there. Old Hickory.
Shout out Jerry Todd.
Shout out Jerry Todd. Old Hickory statue possibly right there. I don't know, because I can't see. That's another thing we've been dealing with. It's so dark here that it's really hard to film. So we're just been chugging. I have one place that I think is going to have the turnout that I've been expecting, and that is the White House. So we're going to just keep on freaking walking. Whatever. Let's get it. So if there's anything that I realized just from walking around DC is that so many people run. I'd probably say that 1 in 3 people are running out here. I mean, it's crazy. We'll probably see someone just running by right here. While we're on our way to the White House, I thought I'd update you guys with some election results or the election polls and how they are. 8:22 right now. Michigan polls are closed. This is what we're looking like at 8:22. Harris 35, Trump 95. What did I tell you? There are so many people running. Yeah, it looks like Kamala Harris, at this point of the night, is dogging Trump in my home state. So I'm wondering what's going to happen. I mean, right now, anything's possible. So let's just keep on chugging to the White House. So we officially made it to the White House, and as you can see, it is completely blocked up. They have put these fences all around everywhere, probably anticipating, like I said, either riots or protests after the election, but I have not seen crowds big enough to really do anything that big, but I don't know. This is a low-key disappointment. I thought that you could at least see the front of it. Guess you can't. This is what we're looking like. As of 9:17, Harris 99, Trump 177. Just checking on Michigan. The lead is narrowing for Kamala Harris in Michigan, that's for sure. That's what the map is looking like as of 9:17. We are getting closer to a result. We're hearing some speakers in the distance, so we're going to go over there. We're going to check that out. We're going to see what the crowd's looking like. We're going to see who's talking on the microphone. Don't know what to expect. So we followed the speaker over to this road, and this is the most people I've seen all night gathered on this road. There's a bunch of reporters, there's a bunch of just people, out here living life, getting ready for the election results. So I feel like if there's anybody that I can interview, they'll be here. So we're out here on election day. Why are you here? Do you live here?
Yes, I live out here.
Uh-huh.
My name's Chuck Modee, and I do media as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Covered, but I've been covering DC streets for over 10 years.
So did you vote in D.C.?
I live right outside in Silver Spring,
Okay.
so I voted in Maryland.
Okay, so if you don't mind me asking,
Yeah.
who did you vote for?
I voted for Jill Stein.
Jill Stein?
Yes.
Okay, what policies did she get you with? Like, what were you sold on?
I think before, normally on other years I might go down, let's compare this or that.
Mm-hmm.
We have two candidates committing genocide. I mean, committing genocide, this is not a small thing. Some people like to say, this is a single issue thing. We don't say, well, Hitler, that one thing, let's not talk about that. He built bridges well. We don't do that for genocide. Genocide, they're mass Palestinians being murdered. I'm seeing the videos. I'm looking at TikTok. It's disgusting. I'm reading the reports. I welcome people to read a report called Welcome to Hell by B'Tselem. They're basically prison torture camps that are going on. So
Wow.
you read these reports. It's horrific. And I'm thinking like, well, it's my own children, right? And I'm going to just give one more example. I could go all day, but I give you one example. Like I'm hearing a story that a dad has to give his 9-year-old daughter. All the hospitals are done, right? They have no anesthesia. You can't do anything. So he has to saw his daughter's arm off. Imagine if you're like the dad and you got to saw your daughter's arm and she's screaming while you're doing it. These are the things like I'm reading, I'm thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot, in good conscience, vote for anyone, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who will support this and give funding to this. And we all see it's happening. So I want to be clear. It's not even an option for me. That's where I'm at on that.
So do you think that we need to, I guess, revamp the whole entire political system? I mean, how do you get like a candidate like you said, Jill Stein? I mean,
Yeah.
is she like a third party or? I mean,
Yeah, Jill Stein's in the Green Party. She's a third party. But I think what's important here is that you want a third party to come in. And for a third party to come in, if you get 5%, a lot of people don't know this. If you get 5% of a vote, there are enough people do that. In the next election, you get federal funding. You get to be in the debates. You get $10 to $20 million. You could start building an alternative. And the reason they never tell you about this on the news is if people knew this, you'd build a third party. You even could take the safe states that are not for up to grabs and you have enough people vote for independent, and then you could break the duopoly. It's kind of like you've never seen a third soda mess with Coke or Pepsi. They basically will buy them out and get rid of them. So in many ways, the Republican and Democrat, they're both bought. I mean, they're both. Don't get me wrong. I hate Trump. I'm gonna be honest. I hate Trump more. I don't like the shit that he says and all of that. But at the end of the day, if AIPAC owns both of you, if big corporations own both of you, you're gonna do what they want. And what we end up doing is we focus all our time on 5% of what they argue about, but not what they're the same about. They're the same on military, spending gazillions of dollars that could be going to America, that could be helping infrastructure as bridges are falling apart all over the place and all these things that need to be fixed. That's happening here, and that is happening because they're beholden to corporations.
How do you think, or how would you go about like getting the money out of politics? Do you think that there's any way, or do you think this is just how
question.
it is?
That's a good question. That's
Appreciate
a good
it.
question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, as a lot of people, maybe there was a Supreme Court ruling, Citizens United, in 2010, which I don't know if you could ever get it back. And they made it. It was already bad enough, but this is a real game changer. The Supreme Court says corporations are people, and that corporations can buy off politicians, essentially, and they do it locally. And you're going to do what they said. And let me give you also one example. Yeah. You all might know about Cori Bush. Cori Bush was in the House, and she was one of the very few people who stood up for a free Palestine. The reason so many politicians don't stand up is it's usually political suicide. And what AIPAC did, and AIPAC is the Israeli lobby. By the way, I'm Jewish, so a lot of people, if you listen to mainstream news, you'd think Israel and Jews are all aligned. That's actually not true. We have 1,000 Jews in these streets joining Palestinians, and we say not in our name. We say, I grew up on Holocaust movies. I'm not going to perpetuate a Holocaust on other people. We ain't going to do that. But Cori Bush stood against it. And what AIPAC did, the lobby, they gave her opponent, Wesley Bell, $15 million to defeat her in the primary. So someone could come in and say, I don't like that person. I'm going to give their opponent $15 million.
Yep.
And beat them. And this is the games they're having. So what happens, when that happens enough times, you're just going to do what the people giving you the money tell you to do. Dirty system.
So do you think that, in a time like this, do you think national unity, do you think that's one of the most important things that we could have? And just as a world as a whole, is that if we could all come together? I know in a perfect world but how could we take steps to get towards, actually getting along with each other?
When people say come together. I don't know what that means. Come together with who, right? I can't come together with someone that is creating harm. If somebody is having a policy that is literally murdering babies, and I think there's 20,000 women and children, civilians killed. They're not killing like people with uniforms on or people with guns in their hands. They're killing kids or like the 1, 2, 3. They're just hitting everything. Every war crimes. Everywhere. And if you look at the UN, 153 countries voted for a ceasefire, and it's usually like 10 that don't. But U.S. has veto power. I don't know if people know that. They're one of 5 countries. U.S. has veto power. So if U.S. could veto any legislation, the entire world is against America and Israel really on this. And they can do that. I don't know if I can't come together with someone who's doing like what is up? So hey, can you come together? With Hitler, I'm using Hitler because he's the most known, right? Okay. Can you come? No, I can't come together. You're killing people. So I think what we have to do is isolate the people who are doing harm. I could come together with people if you're not harming me. Okay. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. So where do you see the country and the world in the years to come? I mean, stuff is not looking that good.
I'm actually a little scared. I'm a little scared.
Me too.
I'm a little terrified. And I don't even know your policies or anything like that. But I'm a little terrified because if either win, I'm terrified. I'm very much against Trump. Enough has been said. I was in these streets, by the way, when not just January 6th, but there were 2 rallies before January 6th, in November and December, and we were protesting for 8 months George Floyd in these streets. I cover protests, so I've been covering it. We're tear gassed out here, rubber bullets. I mean, it was pretty crazy. I'm gonna have a documentary one day.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, people know, it'll be called George Floyd to January 6th. So all this shit's happening, and then in November and December, there's the Stop the Steal rallies come. You have all these Trumpers come in, and then the portion of the Trumpers are straight up white supremacists. You got 3%ers over here. I was in Charlottesville too, so the white supremacist group. They're wearing the colors. They're not even hiding. And what was interesting, because I've covered white supremacist counter rallies for many years, is that normally if you had a group of white supremacists, the crowd that was with them, like let's say I'm just a Trumper, right, and I'm not in like a white supremacist organization, they would try to separate themselves. But the white supremacists were like in the crowd and they weren't like being pushed away. And this is the first time I've seen that. Like, don't stand near me. I don't want to be anywhere near you. So I see this. I'm like, holy shit. And there was some crazy shit that went on in November and December. I mean, like illegal shit. They were fucking shit up. Even right here at Black Lives Matter, they had a Black Lives Matter sign on those windows. They were like pulling them down right in front of the police. I have video. I almost got like my ass beat that night. So this happens. So they get empowered in November and December. So when they come back on January 6th, and I'm sitting up there on the lawn with a camera, and I'm like, when's the tear gas coming? Like, when? Like, I'm using my reference from the previous 8 months out here any day, and it wasn't coming. And what I think is that people kind of got J6 wrong. The police, they're on the same team is what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. They're on the same team. And I'm like, holy shit. Okay, I know I'm being long-winded, but this is an anecdote I got to tell you. Okay. These Trumpers, they're like, back to blue, back to blue. When I see them, they're like, back to blue. Yeah, police, thank you, hugs, this and that. Now, here in the streets, we're on FTP. Now, fuck the police. Sometimes it'll be free to people, but it'll be like, fuck the police. That's the shit they're on. Now, let me tell you something. So, when January 6th comes, and now they have a curfew, and and I'm watching, like, these Trumpers, they're breaking camera equipment. Like, they would take that equipment, crush it. I got this all on video, $200,000 of equipment ruined. And they're just having their way. And then what happens is after the curfew, now some of the MPD, they're pushing back. Maybe a little bit of pepper spray here, a little bit of pepper spray there, like nuggets versus what we had out here. And all of a sudden I saw a flip. People were saying back to blue. Now they're like, fuck the police, fuck the police. These are Trumpers, fuck the police. And what I saw is that when the Trumper got like 1% of what any black kid in D.C. gets right here, they were all on fuck the police, fuck the police. You flip just like that. You never been violated. That's why you're on back to blue. And the very first time you got violated, or you think you got violated, because, they, in this case, they were going up in the Capitol. Yeah, you switched, you flipped. And what that told me is, I think the whole world would be fuck the police if the police treated white people like they treated black people. Yeah, that's where I land.
So it's been pretty chill relatively tonight. We walked around like the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, and this is probably the most action we've seen all night. So do you think that it's going to get a little bit more intense once the results come out?
No, and a lot of people don't understand DC. And I only say, I don't want to brag, but I've covered this like over 10 years. Okay. I've covered all the protests. Outside of DC, I don't think people understand it because people are, oh, Trump, oh, Kamala, this and that. Did you hear the chants earlier? Were you hear the chants earlier?
Down there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were saying, fuck Trump. Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump. You probably heard that at a lot of different places. But here's what you probably didn't hear. When they were done, they said, fuck Kamala, fuck Kamala, fuck Kamala, fuck Kamala. You don't hear that in other places. This is a high-level crowd here. They don't get fooled here from speeches. This is a policy crowd. And what they're doing is really saying, if you're committing genocide, I'm not going to vote for you. We need to have a higher standard than murdering people. Period. And it's almost like we can't even get into all these other areas because that's like, it used to be the highest of all crimes, right? Mass murder. They used to be that. We used to not like argue about such things, and now we're arguing about such things. So I think it's a really sad time in America, and all you can do is fight back, and that's what we're going to do. I don't think anyone here gives a shit who wins. I mean, they do. There's some very scary things about Trump, but there's this thing that when Democrats are elected, people don't fight back. Like if Trump does some crazy shit, people like fighting it. 9 days into Trump's presidency, he was trying to issue a Muslim ban, and these streets were filled, and they were saying, "No Muslim ban, no wall, no Muslim ban." We're taking down airports, we're in BWI, filling this shit. The people are so offended, as they should. I believe. I don't think we should be having bans and shit. Now, fast forward to Biden. The second he was elected, all of a sudden people start dissipating. So I get a call, and it was a organization called DocuBlack. And basically at that time, in the first month, there were thousands of Haitians who were being deported, and nobody knew about it. And I'm like, no, I saw on TV Biden said there's a 100-day moratorium on all deportations. But there was this law called Title 42. And in Title 42, Trump and Stephen Miller put it into place. And in Title 42, he kept that in place. And he started through, it's like a loophole. I don't want to get into it. It's too wonky. But now they're deporting Haitians. I learned about it that day because I go up to the organizer and say, what are you talking about? I thought there's a moratorium. So Biden's doing the same shit Trump's doing, and I'm tweeting the same shit. And people who love me when Trump's doing, all of a sudden, oh, give him more time. It's too soon to attack Biden. I'm like, but is it too soon for the Haitians, or we're going to be deported in like another 1,000 next week? Who's it too soon for? Why don't you have the same reaction when Biden did the same shit Trump did? And that's part of the problem. Sometimes the problem I have, because Trump is so boorish, right? He's so like crude. His bigotry is like so open. So I have this phrase. I say, Trump's bigotry comes right out of his mouth. Biden's bigotry comes right out of his budget. And people can't see that when he does the same shit because he's not going to be loud about it and talk shit about it. And I think Trump, just his demeanor fucks people up.
Now, do you think that, let's say, the people who feel that type of way, who you don't want Trump or whatever, and they want to vote for Kamala because they want something different, do you think that they're going to be getting something different, or do you think it's going to be the same old, same old?
I think it's going to... Listen, they both are going to continue the genocide. Let me start right there. They're both going to do that. And that's the criticism I get. Well, Trump's going to be worse on it. So I'm not trying to choose between genocide and genocide.
Two wrongs don't make it right.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'm trying to get out of this mess. So that's going to be the same. The military, they're both going to keep feeding the military. And then that has two things. We're killing people all around the world. And if you understand how that works in capitalism, we understand at the top of that is Boeing and Raytheon and these war profiteers that we're beholden to their profits. So we're going to have no forever war until almost everyone's dead. And both parties are held to that. There are going to be certainly some differences. I think Trump's, there are a lot of worries that Trump's going to be a dictator and do things. I'm not going to dismiss that. That could happen. I'm a little worried about that as well. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But I think we just gotta fight back and have principles and try to create different scenarios, because I think they're both corrupt. Both these parties are corrupt. I think like the Republicans are just more openly bigoted and racist, and then the Democrats are just quiet about it. You didn't even tell me where you're from.
I'm from Michigan.
You're from where in Michigan?
By Flint, Grand Blancs.
My wife's from Flint.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, my wife's from Flint.
He's a Michigan State sweatshirt.
Yeah, MSC. Oh, my wife don't like you. Yeah.
So we voted this morning, and we drove all the way from Michigan here. And
What?
Yep. So we've been.
Oh, you thought it was gonna be like
I thought.
poppin'.
Yes, I thought it was. I actually was so surprised because I'm at the Capitol building and it's like a ghost town. I'm like, where is everybody at? And then I go to the White House and they have it all boarded up, and I hear somebody on the speaker, so I come over here. So this is the most action I've seen all night. So that's why.
And 4 years ago, this was a whole nother scene. It was a different scene.
That's why I'm kind of like, I wouldn't say disappointed, because this is what I came out here to do. I came out here to talk to people. I came out just to experience it. But I mean, it's a little bit underwhelming from what I thought.
So. Well, the reason it's underwhelming is that normally it's clear if you're fighting something, right? They don't want either candidate. And if you don't want either candidate, it's like, if they all want Kamala, and I'm sure there are a lot of places that it's, oh, Kamala.
Yep.
You're going to see that joy, right? You're going to see that. There was that joy when Biden was elected, but when Biden was elected, the joy wasn't for Biden. Nobody actually liked Biden.
Yeah.
The joy was that it wasn't Trump.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask people. Like, okay, do you like Kamala Harris more than you hate Donald Trump? You know what I'm saying? That's the real question for a lot of people on the fence.
Well,
you know?
no, I mean, a lot of there are two ways to looking about it. A ton of people do, right? A ton of people do. No question about that.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's a double-edged sword to that. If you like somebody and that person you like still has bad policy, they may be putting a pretty face on some bad policies. Whereas Trump doesn't put a pretty face on bad policies. The thing is, like, Trump is so crude. Let me give you an example. When Trump does some dirty shit, he owns it. He'll tell you, even though he's known as this pathological liar here, and that's actually true. But he's the most honest person abroad. Like, there was time he was doing a Bill O'Reilly interview, and you're always supposed to say America's they're the best. And he said, we're not really the good guys. You've never heard American presidents say, we're not really the good guys. And then he's having another interview, and he's like, yeah, I think we should go take their oil. Like that's what America does, but we usually say, we're going for freedom and democracy. You don't admit the crime. He's basically saying, because he's a gangster, he's saying, yeah, we take the oil. Of course I'm going to steal the oil when I'm down there. So he's like being honest about it, because in his like sort of gangster view, yeah, that's fine. We should do that. America first. Fuck them kids, Even with Gaza, he's more like, fuck them kids. And then, Kamala might say oh, yeah, I think it's bad civilians are being killed, and then send $30 billion over the next week, right? So you have one two-faced party, and then you have one that's sort of open. Now, it's human nature to be a lot of times against the person, who's more openly crude. Now, I'm sure Trump has a lot of fans,
yeah,
but, it's D.C. We're not fans. So I don't think there's a way we could all come together.
Okay.
I don't see it unless people stop. At the end of the day, the corporations own these politicians.
Yep. Exactly.
And they don't have the people's best interests at heart.
Yep.
We invited you to sing along, but you didn't sing along. Do you have a song you can sing? Do you have a song you can sing? No. Mantras, slogans are the words of the dead. Do you have a song you can sing? Do you have a song you can sing? Do you have any joy in your hearts? Are you full of anger? Are you full of hate? Down in my heart, down in my heart, I've got the joy down in my heart. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! So very happy, I've got the love of Jesus in my heart, and I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. That's your song? I've got the peace that passes. Can you sing? Does anyone have a song? Slogans are the word of the dead. You're repeating mantras. There's a word to the dead. That's right. Why do you propose genocide of the Jews? Are you proposing genocide of the Jews? Where's your song? Where is your song? You have no song? No song. Why do you have no song? In my heart, I've got the joy. I hear joy over here. I don't hear joy though for you guys. Where's your song? Do you have a song? So very happy.
So how you doing today, sir?
Doing well, how are you?
Pretty good. So what brings you out to DC today?
I actually live here, like down the street.
So you're a local?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. So did you vote here?
Yes.
Who did you, if you don't mind me asking, who did you vote for?
Presidential?
Yes.
Harrison Walz.
Okay, what policies made you vote for her?
Policies made me vote for her. It was more of a focus on her approach to building out the economy from like the ground up.
Okay.
And also, I do really enjoy the enthusiasm for like building a better trust between government and the public. So I'm really into that.
Is there any policies that maybe Donald Trump has that you agree with?
There are actually some. Yes. There, I can't say them because my work would conflict with them. But I do believe that there is like a need for like a stronger embrace of like responsible government, right? So like better funding and better like spending habits as well. So when it comes to when we're talking about where is waste in government, like government can do a lot of great things, but there's a very strong need to make sure that we're spending appropriately and wisely, and that we're not just spending just to spend.
Okay. If you were to put like both candidates aside, like just X amount of this, what do you think America's future is as a whole going forward?
I think if we develop a stronger ability to connect and speak and converse about policy and politics and our differences, we'll be better off. If we continue to like delve into sound bites and delve into like broken one-liners that we not fully understand, then we will struggle and it will like result in more situations like this.
So going to that, what do you think about the scene here tonight? Is it what you expected, or is it a little less, a little bit more?
Quite honestly, so I was out here in 2020 when the election happened. This is calmer. Believe it or not. But I will say this is also indicative of that chaos that we may see more of going forward. So that's what worries me a little bit. As you can see now, it's more of a focus of who can talk over one another and less of a focus on who can talk to each other. This is worrisome, but also at the same time, the fact that they can actually do this and actually converse and express themselves is a good sign, too.
Okay, so if you were to have one thing to say to anybody watching about either politics or just the state of the world or just anything, what would you say to them?
Don't listen to political ads. Do your research on the candidates and find out the policy that you like, that they like, and then base your decisions off that. Ads are only meant to show you one point of view, and only just proves the point that funding big-time candidates or like big-time dollars for candidates is an effective way to like give us good leaders. It is not.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate it, bro.
Thank you for your time.
What was your name again?
Aaron.
Chandler. Nice to meet you, man.
Chandler.
Have a good one.
Bless the United States of America! Bless Donald Trump!
Okay, so here's the deal, everybody. The time is approximately 11:34, and I'm absolutely spent. There's not really a crowd anymore, which is honestly crazy because you would think that there would be, but this has been the common theme the whole entire night. Very underwhelming thing, but right now as the polls look, Donald Trump is ahead right now in the polls, and he's also leading in major key swing states like Michigan. I'm not psychic, but I would think that Donald Trump will be winning the 2024 presidential election. And I feel like when he does, if it does get called tonight, there's not really going to be that much out on the streets because there hasn't been that much out on the streets just today in general. So we're going to start making our way back towards the hotel. We're going to get some Z's in, and then tomorrow we're going to come out here back on the streets and get some post results for whoever wins, like, because Donald Trump might not win for sure, but we're going to get some post-result interviews. So that's the move. I literally feel like jello. I'm so exhausted. But as you can see, we finally made it back to the master closet. And it's 12:50 right now. The election is still not called. So I think that we made the good choice by coming back. The lady at the front desk was super nice, hooked us up with a cold bottle of water. Super clutch. So today we walked a total of 27,000 steps today. Yeah, today was a very crazy day. But job is not finished. Results should be done by tomorrow. And we're going to be hitting the street. Going to be talking to some people how they feel about it. It's going to be pretty awesome, man. It's going to be pretty freaking cool. Okay, well, I am going to go to freaking bed. I'll see you guys when I see you guys in the morning, and we're gonna finish this thing up. Yeah. All right. Peace out, guys. Good morning, Washington, D.C. We were able to get some much needed rest. I mean, I was totally exhausted last night, but it is now November 6th, and the results are basically final. Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States. What I think I could just take from all this, being on the street last night and talking to these people, you know, I know a lot of people are going to be upset with the results. Either way, they would be upset, but I feel like now is a time more than ever that we really need to come together as a country just for our future as a nation. You know, whether it was Kamala who won or, you know, Donald Trump winning, I don't think that we can get that much farther as a country being so divided, especially just the state of the world and how everything's really looking. You know, it's really going to start to get interesting. The circumstance is what it is. I feel that if we all just don't accept it, if we all don't come together, I'm not saying stop fighting for what you believe in or whatever, but I am saying that not being able to accept other people's opinions and just further dividing ourselves is really hurting us more than probably the person in office or the person that you didn't want to vote for. And I was talking to Chuck last night, one of the people I interviewed, and he said, how can I come together with people that, you know, are doing such terrible things? But you know, no matter which way you spin it, either candidate, they're doing terrible things because, like I said, I really don't feel like they have our best interest in us. But, I mean, we all are Americans at the end of the day. You know, this is our country, and whether what candidate you picked, you know, the bottom line is that we want to see a better future and our country succeeding. So it is 10:42 right now. Our checkout is at 11. We kind of chilled out a little bit to refresh, but we're going to check out, we're going to get some food, and then we're going to hit the National Mall area, Lincoln Memorial, Washington Monument, maybe even go all the way down to the Capitol and kind of wrap this video up with some post-result interviews and see how they're feeling about the results. That's kind of what's on the agenda today. We're already packed up, ready to go. It's time to get this day started. Going down. So we just checked out of the hotel. We really weren't feeling the food selection they had there. So now we're going to be going to this breakfast place. It's called Cravings. If you guys know me, you know I love breakfast. And we haven't eaten in so long. I'm so hungry. So we made it to the spot. It's like this little college town thing. And unfortunately, they weren't doing breakfast still, but I got me a sandwich. BLT. Hold on, let me get a taste for you. That's actually pretty good. I give it a 4 out of 5. All right, Chase?
We have the steak and cheese today, ladies and gentlemen, with house chips. That's actually one of the best steak and cheeses I've ever had. I'm not even going to lie. Truly a 9 out of 10. I'm not even that. My expectations are blown.
There's their IG at right there. Chill vibes, quick eats, good food. So we're gonna eat this and start making our way towards the National Mall. Yeah. So we're here at the reflecting pool, and it is absolutely hot as balls outside. I mean, it's like 80 degrees. I'm wearing all black. Definitely not the best decision, but you see it. There's a lot more people than there was here last night, which is I wouldn't really necessarily say it's surprising because it's middle of the day or earlier in the day. So we're gonna talk to some people. We're gonna see what they're feeling about the election results, and yeah, we're gonna get to it. Look at that duck. So I'm here with Robert, and Robert, what brings you out to DC today?
Tourism. Here to see the sights and
So are you from here? I'm hearing the accent.
Yeah, from Scotland.
Scotland.
Not from here though.
So you didn't vote, I'm assuming, obviously.
No, that'd be very bad if you did vote, I think.
So if you were to vote, who would you have voted for?
Probably Kamala.
Kamala? As Trump is president, what's the downsides do you think is going to happen for him?
The integrity of elections. Every single guy that's lost in the past have said, "Look, I've lost," and they've bowed out. He hasn't, and it's sort of going to legitimise sort of someone else doing that in the future, saying that I didn't actually lose when they probably did. So regardless of their individual policies, it also legitimises it like worldwide. People around the world will say things, "Oh, I won that election," when I actually didn't.
So what do you feel like the state of the world is right now?
I mean, it's nationalism's on the rise, but I think overall it's going in a positive direction. I'm not a pessimist.
So you think it's a positive direction?
Yeah, not particularly Trump being elected, but I think overall we're moving, and I think it might be a bit better this time round. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, my man.
So I'm here with Andreas. So what brought you out to DC today?
I've never been here, and I found it exciting to be here for the election day and for the outcome.
Are you expecting a lot more, or do you think it's a little bit underwhelming?
No, it's actually overwhelming. It's more than I expected.
Were you here last night?
I was here last night, yes.
Yeah, it was. So we were here too, and it was pretty chill around here. But did you get a chance to go by the White House and see what was going down there?
Unfortunately not, because everything was sealed down and blocked. But I wish I could have seen more.
So where are you originally from?
From many places, but I live in Europe.
Okay.
Switzerland.
Very cool. Have you ever considered moving to the United States?
I have, yeah. It would be. It's definitely a dream of mine.
Where at would you move? There's a bunch of states to choose from.
I think New York City is one on the top of my list.
Have you visited New York City a lot?
I have, yeah.
That's one place I have not been. So if you were able to vote in this election, who would you have voted for?
To be honest, neither.
Yeah.
But preferably Harris. I don't like Trump's personality, but yeah.
What do you think the fate of America is with Trump as president?
It's very unpredictable, I guess, right now. But I hope and wish for the best.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
I
appreciate you. I'm here with my friend Carl. Just met him from the Washington Monument. So, Carl, what brings you to Washington, D.C. today?
Elections.
Election?
I'm from Belgium, and I flew in from just to taste the atmosphere of what are elections in USA.
So, what do you think about the result of the election, Donald Trump winning?
That's a hard one. I was hoping for Kamala Harris. I was afraid it would be Trump, and it's Trump. Okay, Trump, I think America will have 4 wonderful years, but afterwards, I'm afraid it will be a disaster.
What do you think is probably your biggest concern, or America's biggest concern, with Donald Trump in office?
Just his point of view, it's just a short term, 4 years, that's it. He just wants his legacy to be a good legacy, short term. What comes afterwards, none of his business. None of his problem anymore.
Okay. What do you feel the state of the world is right now? Because you're not from here, so we can go on a bigger scale. Where do you think it's heading?
I think it's heading the wrong direction because he's good friends with Putin, Orban from Hungary, Erdogan from Turkey, all the dictators, if it's allowed to say, dictators. So, and he's a very dangerous person. He has his hand right on the button. So he can launch a nuclear bomb if he wants to.
Yeah.
And if he does, World War III.
Yeah. Do you think that World War III is coming sooner than we know it?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah. Because they don't want to support Ukraine. He said, okay, that's none of our business. America first. All of the money that's made from America has to stay in America. So, no. It's a very bad situation for Ukraine. And if Putin can take over Ukraine, I think China can do the same with Taiwan and so on. And no, that's...
Okay. So one last question. If you were able to say anything to anybody watching, what would it be?
Next time, please don't vote Trump. Anybody else, but not Trump.
Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome.
So, Richard, what brings you out to Washington, D.C. today?
The National Art Museum has an exhibit on French Impressionism that I wanted to see.
Okay, so you aren't here for the election at all?
No.
Did you vote?
Oh, hell yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, who did you vote for?
The loser.
The loser?
I voted for Harris. Yeah.
So, what's your overall opinion on the outcome of the election? Are you nervous, concerned, or?
Oh, I'm very concerned. I'm very nervous. I don't believe our country is the way it looks right now based on the vote. I mean, I was of the opinion that if by any chance Trump won again, he would still not get the overall vote. Maybe he might still find a way to squeak in with the electoral college, but he got more votes than Harris this time, so that tells me something about our country that I don't think I really understood before.
What is your biggest concern with Donald Trump being in office?
Well, number one, he's not qualified. Number two, he broke his oath of office when he was in the office before. What more can you say, you know?
How do you feel about the two-party system?
I don't know how to change it. I think we're stuck with the two-party system. Yeah, I'd love to see independents be able to make inroads. I don't ever see it happening in this country.
What do you feel about money being involved in politics? Do you think that's a big issue?
Yeah, I wish there was some way we could take it all out.
If you were to try to figure out a solution, where would you first start by trying to, not have money be so involved with politics?
Well, I would gather, this is my own opinion,
Yeah.
I would gather all of the citizens of this country and get us much more involved in politics at every level. And one of the first things we would do was have a vow by anyone running: we will not vote for you unless you disavow taking money. And then somehow, through the political process, get that taken care of by law.
Now, do you think that family and friends, does that have a really huge impact on the way that you vote?
No, I think I have more of an impact on my family.
Okay.
Although my siblings, I mean, just like the country, my siblings are kind of half and half, I don't know. The impact is what it is.
And in times like this, how important do you think national unity really is?
Well, we're going to have national disunity for 4 years.
Yeah.
Trump is a divider, and it's going to be ugly.
What do you think that America is going to look after his term?
Oh, my God. I wish I had a globe to know. It will definitely be different. The world will be different. Our view by the rest of the world will be different. I travel overseas quite often, and I'll be going again in April. I'm not looking forward to what Europeans may think of us anymore.
What do you think the biggest problem that we have as Americans really is?
Obviously, the early analysis is economics. There's a lot of people that just feel like they're suffering. They're not doing as well as they used to. I'm just a retiree. I'm on a fixed income, but I just feel like life is great in the United States, and I never have quite understood, and somehow maybe that's on me, why so many Americans, maybe half of them or more, feel that life isn't good for them in this country. I don't get it because I think things are great.
Yeah. You look like you have a lot of wisdom. So if there's anything that you would want to say to anybody watching, what would it be?
Just pray that we are able to keep our free press. Mm-hmm. That is the most important thing that we have in this country. If we're able to keep our free press and report on the goings on, whatever they may be, in a fair and accurate way, that'll be our saving grace.
Appreciate your time, Richard. It was really nice talking to you.
Yeah, you're a good interviewer, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually new to this. So I used to do van life. I used to travel across the whole entire country and, do that. But now I'm segueing more into bigger events. So this was kind of like the Kickstarter to my new chapter. So I'm just out here trying to make it happen.
Well, good. I wish you much luck.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
And again, I was Richard. What was your name?
Chandler.
You're Chandler.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if I've met a Chandler. That's cool.
Yeah, everybody says, are you named after the guy from Friends? And it's always, no, I don't. Yeah, so, well, I appreciate it, man.
Okay.
You have a good time here. I'm out here with Joe at the Washington Monument. Joe, what brings you to D.C. today?
I'm working on a tugboat. We just came into town here.
Where are you originally from? Are you from
Philadelphia?
Philadelphia. Did you vote?
Sir. Yes.
If you don't mind me asking, who did you vote for?
Come on, baby.
Trump. Okay. Well, so obviously you're happy about the results of the election.
Oh, hell yeah.
And what policies did Trump have that really made you want to vote for him?
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I had a couple issues. Last time he told me he'd make my gun permit nationwide, which never happened. But, yeah. So hopefully we'll see what happens with that.
if Kamala would have won, what would the United States look like in these next 4 years?
I'm not really sure, but it's not too good, I don't think.
And what do you think that the overall state of the world is heading to right now? Do you think it's good or do you think it's bad?
It could be going better.
Yeah.
Could be going better.
Now, what role do you think the media plays in the election and just everyday life as an American
Pretty
citizen?
much everything, man. With the younger kids, they whatever they hear on the TV and Tic Tac and all that, whatever they see, they jump on the cause.
Do you think that it's like really heavily Democratic?
Yes.
Yes. So if you were to say one thing to the people, any advice, anything that you want to say, what would it be?
God bless America and work hard.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you. So we're leaving the Capitol right now. Not that many people were biting. Well, actually, not really anybody. I asked a couple people if they wanted to do an interview. They all declined. But there's this one guy from Ireland, and he didn't want to be in the video, but we ended up talking to him for like 30 minutes. And he's been well-traveled. He's been everywhere. But apparently last night, and he was a Trump guy, he was getting harassed pretty bad at the bars just for having a hat. And it's... on the outside looking in as a foreigner coming here, it probably put a bad taste in his mouth, like you're coming here and you're visiting and that's just how you're treated. I think as a country we really need to do better. Right now we're kind of wrapping it up. We really didn't get that many interviews from the Trump perspective, so I'm actually going to interview Chase real quick. Yeah, and then we're going to start getting out of here. So find a bench and let's do this. A nice park bench here, and I'm actually going to be interviewing my cameraman Chase. He's putting himself on the line here discussing his political opinion, but hopefully you guys respect it. Everybody's entitled to it. So we all know that you're voting for Trump. Can you tell the people why?
Most importantly, I would say for me, a big part is the border. And for me, this isn't an anti-immigration stance. I feel like that's something that is very misconstructed and it's not viewed, how we're trying to say it. And I feel like people take it out of context, very out of context. In no way, shape, or form do I feel that having a safe border is in any way racist or trying to stop immigration. I feel, and after speaking with the nice gentleman from Ireland, we both agreed that you can't have all these people come in that you don't know who they are, undocumented people, and also to me, I feel that it is a very big disservice to the people that are trying to come in this country legally from Mexico City or any other European country or just anywhere around the world. It is a major disservice to them that are waiting in line patiently, that all these people are cutting them in line and not doing the same process that they're trying to do and come in illegally. Another reason that I agree with Donald Trump is I like his economic policy. I mean, some people disagree with his tariffs. I'm on the other end where I don't think that his increase in tariffs is going to pass the cost onto the consumer. I very much am so an American first type mind view. I do agree with looking out for the world, but I think it's very important for us to focus on what's going on at home. And I feel like we've kind of put that to the side recently. We have not been focusing on taking care of things at home. For example, I mean, we're giving all this money to fund these wars, across the world, but I'm walking around Washington, D.C., and I got to watch these homeless people sleep on the ground. I got to watch these homeless people sleep on a bench. Or veterans. Let me just start there. That's even a bigger thing. And, this kind of goes into the homeless thing because a lot of veterans do become homeless. Why are veterans treated so bad? They do the job that you don't want to do and I don't want to do. I don't want to do it. And if you're not a veteran, you don't want to do it. And the fact that they are not treated with more respect, people don't look out for them, I find that as a huge disservice to the people that legit put their life on the line for this country. I don't find that right at all. I feel like the money should be allocated better.
How was your time in D.C.?
My time in D.C., it was wonderful. I'm going to be honest. I love being here. I love the history. I love being in the capital of my country. I love America. No better place in the world. It may be a little underwhelming on the turnout, but at the end of the day, that's okay. Still got to see some very cool things. Got to be in front of the White House on Election Day. It was a very patriotic feeling, and it was a very nice to be out here and just witness it all and take it all in.
So I just want to thank Chase for actually being confident enough to share his views. That's what makes this country great. Like I said before, that we actually have the right to choose. Like, we have these rights. There's no better place in the world, in my opinion. I love the United States. If Donald Trump's the president, if Kamala Harris is the president, if LeBron James is the president, I'm always going to love this country. This is going to be putting a wrap on the Washington, D.C. Election Day video. We've been out here for, a long time. just sightseeing, seeing the vibe, and having a good time talking to people. Just talking to that Ireland guy, you know, we didn't have to get him on an interview, but we had a really good conversation, and that's what it's all about. You know, like I said, the last night for the election itself, it was pretty underwhelming. Not that many people were here as I thought, but all in all, it was a really good experience, a really fun time. You know, I love history. I love Washington, D.C., believe it or not. So, yeah, I had a great time. This is going to be putting a wrap on the video. Donald Trump will be the president for the next 4 years. So, you know, I'm wishing the best to everybody out there. I'm hoping everybody out there is doing good. Don't let the decision or the results beat you guys up. You know, live your life, live it to the fullest, and be yourself, do what you want to do, fulfill your dreams. So, with that, I'm out of here.